There are moments in baseball when a game feels bigger than the scoreboard, when every at-bat carries weight, every pitch is filled with tension, and every defensive play feels like it might tilt an entire postseason. This was one of those games. The Titans claimed second place in NWAC South Region and earned the second seed by finishing strong. They know what's at stake. Win 2 of 3, and the road leads to Longview and the NWAC Championship Tournament. The Bellevue Bulldogs came into today's game having just survived a war. One-game do-or-die scenario that had 4 lead changes, 5 home runs, and a grand slam. A 12-8 barn burner to get here. A team running on adrenaline and belief. And sometimes that's the most dangerous kind of team. So when Bellevue's very first batter launched the second pitch of the afternoon over the fence, you could feel the Bulldogs arrive. Just like that, Bellevue led 1-0. The next hitter doubled into right center, and suddenly the ballpark got loud in a hurry. This could unravel quickly, but Griffin Scott never blinked. That's the thing about an ace. Sometimes the most important moment isn't dominance, it's composure. A soft comebacker back to the mound. Scott looked the runner back to second, threw to first, 1 out. Then he battled the next hitter, 4 foul balls, 7 pitches total, and froze him with a dart on the inside corner. Strikeout looking. The batter walked away shaking his head. Jalen Riddle scooped up a chopper at second and flipped it to first, where Quentin Olson smothered it cleanly. Inning over. A lot of noise, 1 run. Scott filed it away and moved on. Lane answered immediately. With 1 out, Austin Takahashi sliced a single past the third baseman for the Titans' first hit of the day. 2 outs, Cody Roletto at the plate, and Takahashi takes off for second. He's in, now in scoring position. Cody Roletto chopped a hard ground ball into the hole, but Roletto was coming hard, and that hustle forced a rushed throw. Takahashi scored easily. Roletto pulls into second, tie game, and just like that, the Titans settled in. The hard-throwing lefty Griffin Scott was back on the mound. Sebastian Contreras charged a slow roller and fired across the diamond and got the out. That's a play you have to make, and he made it beautifully. A double and an errant throw put runners on first and second with 1 out. Bellevue was threatening again, runners moving. Scott answered by getting the next batter to pop up to short right. Peyton Tyner settled under it. Runners had to retreat. That was followed by a line drive right at Nolan Donovan for the 3rd out. Threat over. Still tied. In the bottom of the second, a pop-up in foul territory gave the Titans their first out. Peyton Tyner reached first on a shattered bat fly ball to short center. And 2 deep fly balls, and that's the inning. In the top of the 3rd, the Bulldogs put runners on via a hit by pitch and a walk. Scott handled a high chopper cleanly, but with nobody covering third, he turned to make the play at first. Heady baseball. Then a throwing error pulled Olson off the bag, and the bases were loaded with just 1 out. Then came one of the wildest moments of the game. A fly ball to center. Donnie Morgan charged in, made the catch, and unleashed an absolute missile toward home plate. The runner had nowhere to go, so he put his shoulder down and slammed violently into Trevor DeVincenzi's headgear. DeVincenzi's glove got wrapped around the runner's body, and the ball came free from the tangled impact. The run scored. Bellevue took the lead, and for just a moment, the energy inside the park shifted. Baseball can be cruel that way sometimes. You can make the perfect throw, the perfect read, and still watch the run score. That was just bad luck. Bulldogs go up 2-1. With base runners on second and third and 2 outs, they were hoping to add on. Scott reached back and struck out the next man to end it. Then came the bottom of the 3rd. The Titans went back to work. Quentin Olson drew a walk. A line drive and a failed steal attempt left the Titans with 2 outs and no one on base. Donnie Morgan punched a ground ball to the middle of the field and then used his speed to easily beat it out for a base hit. Then he stole second. Cody Roletto ripped a ground ball through the 6-hole. Morgan never slowed down. Morgan's speed put pressure on the defense, and that led to a mistake in the outfield. Morgan scored, and Roletto moved up to second. The game was tied again. Nolan Donovan gets hit and takes first. 2 on, 2 out. Jalen Riddle floated a clutch single over the third baseman. Roletto scored. Donovan moved to second. For the first time, the Titans had the lead. The energy from the dugout was electric. By the 4th inning, Griffin Scott was rolling. A called strike 3, and the Bulldog hitter walked away looking confused. A slow roller to Riddle for the 2nd out. A single and a walk, and the Bulldogs briefly stirred. Scott was firmly in control. He forced a pop-up that Peyton Tyner squeezed for the 3rd out. Then the bottom of the 4th arrived, and the game changed completely. Sebastian Contreras slashed a single up the middle past the diving shortstop. Trevor DeVincenzi dropped down a perfect sacrifice bunt, advancing Contreras to second. Quentin Olson worked another walk. Then Austin Takahashi caught the third baseman sleeping and deadened a bunt perfectly down the line. Bases loaded, 1 out. The switch hitter, Donnie Morgan, stepped in from the left side of the plate. On an 0-1 pitch, he unloaded and absolutely destroyed the baseball. A rocket, deep to right, no doubt about it, grand slam. Oh, that was beautiful. In one powerful swing, Morgan turned 2 singles and a walk into a 5-run lead. And Lane wasn't finished. Nolan Donovan followed by driving a double to deep right center. The Titans are rolling. Meanwhile, Griffin Scott kept carving through the Bulldogs lineup. Nolan Donovan smoothly handled a routine ground ball for out number 1. Sebastian Contreras slid over to handle a ground ball up the middle for out number 2. And then Peyton Tyner settled under a high fly ball for out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning for Scott. The Titans have taken control. In the bottom half, the Titans keep adding. Peyton Tyner slashes a chopper off the pitcher's glove for a single. Contreras gets hit and takes first. And then Trevor DeVincenzi, for the 2nd time today, laid down an absolutely perfect bunt. The pitcher had no play and had to eat it. The Titan bench exploded. Bases loaded, top of the order. Quentin Olson lifts one to center. Tyner scores on the sac fly. Austin Takahashi followed with a deep sac fly down the left field line. Contreras tags and scores easily. DeVincenzi moved to second on the throw. Then Donnie Morgan struck again, shooting a hard ground ball past the diving second baseman. DeVincenzi came flying around third and in to score. 5 RBIs on the afternoon for Morgan, and the Titans were up by 8. Scott back for the 6th, and he is simply not allowing anything to happen. The first batter hits a fly ball toward right center. Morgan runs it down. The next batter hits one to the same gap. This time Peyton Tyner runs it down. And Contreras charges a slow roller, rifles it to Olson, who picks it cleanly for the final out. 7 straight outs for the lefty, and Bellevue is running out of time. Nolan Donovan opens the bottom half by ripping a line drive into the right field corner, his second double of the afternoon. He coasted in standing up. A ground ball and a double play would end the inning. Scott came out for the seventh. The Titans were not letting up. Austin Takahashi showcased his speed by running down a fly ball in left. Then Scott punched out his fourth strikeout of the day. A ground ball single followed, but the next hitter sent a grounder to Quentin Olson, who fielded it and flipped it to Scott covering first. Inning over. In the bottom of the seventh, the fly out and pop-up was followed by Quentin Olson shooting a ground ball over the pitcher's mound and into center field for a single. Takahashi would follow by drawing a walk before the inning ended. Colton Schmidt took over in the eighth and immediately attacked the zone. Donnie Morgan settled under a fly ball in center for the first out. Nolan Donovan charged a slow chopper and rifled it across the diamond to Quentin Olson, who dug it out beautifully to secure the second out. Nice play on both ends. After a double, Schmidt got the batter to pop it up and handled it himself. Clean frame. Another 0 on the board. With 2 outs in the bottom of the eighth, Jalen Riddle singled on a hard ground ball that took a bad hop and caromed off the shortstop. A fly ball would end the inning. The Titans would carry an 8-run lead into the ninth inning. Jamie Burnett came in to close it out. In postseason baseball, always finds one final moment to test you. A single, a walk, an error, bases loaded, nobody out. The Bulldogs were looking for a way to claw back, but Burnett stayed composed. A comebacker to the mound, and Burnett showed his athleticism, climbing the ladder and then getting the force out at home. Then came a breaking ball that disappeared off the plate. An ugly swing, huge strikeout. And fittingly, the final out drifted toward right center field. Donnie Morgan glided underneath it. That's the ball game. Lane Titans 10, Bellevue Bulldogs 2. And what made this performance special was that it belonged to everybody. Every hitter in the lineup recorded a hit. Donnie Morgan delivered an amazing performance. On top of his game-defining grand slam, he collected 3 hits, drove in 5 runs, stole a base, scored twice, and flashed brilliance defensively all afternoon. Nolan Donovan doubled twice and anchored the defense. Jalen Riddle came through with 2 hits, great defense, and a clutch RBI. Peyton Tyner added 2 hits and tracked down everything in the outfield. Austin Takahashi reached base 3 times, drove in a run, scored once, and changed the game with speed and pressure. Quentin Olson reached base 3 times and quietly did all the little things that winning teams need. Sebastian Contreras scored twice and made several outstanding defensive plays. Trevor DeVincenzi delivered 2 perfectly executed bunts and battled behind the plate all afternoon. Cody Roletto chipped in with a key RBI and helped ignite early momentum. And on the mound, Griffin Scott earned the win and set the tone. 7 strong innings, just 5 hits and 4 strikeouts. But the numbers don't fully tell the story, because the real story was his poise and determination. Bellevue threw the first punch. Scott never flinched. Colton Schmidt and Jamie Burnett came in and each did their job. Not a single run allowed. You know, baseball has a funny way of revealing teams this time of year. Not just talent, character, composure, belief. And on this afternoon, the Lane Titans looked like a ball club that understood exactly what was sitting in front of them. Congratulations to the players and the coaches. Coach Blunt, Lovekamp, and Bolander had this team ready. You could see it at every step of the game. To the family, friends, and fans who made the drive, who tuned in, who tracked the score from wherever you are, thank you. These young men know you're watching, and today they turned in something special. One more win, one more step, and the road to Longview keeps rolling on.